Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Kiali Sprint community meeting and demo. This is for Sprint 99, which will correspond to the release of 1.77 of Kiali, which we will release on Monday, a couple of days from now. As usual, we'll go through what we did this sprint, highlights for you, what's coming up, and then an optional community discussion at the end. This sprint, as you can see in the green, is what we've actually completed. The other things are still in progress or in backlog and so forth. You can always look at this in our GitHub project. You want to take a look yourself. Most of the work, as usual, was in the main Kiali repo, but there was also a reasonably significant amount of work in the operator repos and in the documentation and a couple of other places as well. All right, let's get on to the highlights of what we did in the last 3 weeks. We'll start with Patternfly 5 migration. Can you talk about that, Fernando?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Jay. Okay, yes, we would like to celebrate that we have completed the Patternfly 5 migration with the final task of migrating the tables that we have in Kiali to Patternfly 5 version. So we can say that whole Kiali it's standard compatible with Patternfly 5. With this epic, we have also reviewed the code of in the front end of Kiali. Thus, we have converted some classes into hooks. We have reviewed some types to be consistent with TypeScript, cleaning and refactoring some components, so in order to make a more robust and consistent code. That's all.
All right, thanks, Fernando. And Fernando led that effort, and the code base is better for it. It's really much better now, and if you want to contribute, now's a great time to jump in. All right, let's move on to what we've been doing in the Grafana Tempo space, and we'll let Josune talk about that.
Thank you, Jay. So yes, I will like to talk about the upgrade of Grafana Tempo. There's not much improvements in this release, but there is a bunch of work in progress tasks. The most part of them are still in review, and one of them is in progress at the moment. And well, for those who didn't know, we in Kiali version 1.75 we include support for a distribution tracing tool that is Grafana Tempo, if in case we wanted to use it instead of Jagger, but we include it with limiter support, and that includes the HTTP client, no support for gRPC, and Kiali has limited functionality in this first release. So in the tasks that they are now in review, we have added the cluster tag for filtering traces, and this is just for filtering the traces in the multi-cluster mode. We also have added the conversion of the data for the spans in the inbound metrics tab that you can see there in the image. And this is because in the case of Tempo, we return the traces they are returned in OpenTelemetry format, so we need to convert certain fields that Kiali can use because it still manages the traces in Jagger format. And we can also, another task was the use of select for queries. This is because we were using Tempo 0.5 version and the last version of Tempo. And in that case, it includes this new version of Tempo, a new operator that is the select, that it can allows you to select. It allows to select new fields in the queries. We can also update the trace data in hover events. And we can also, an ongoing task is the support for the gRPC client. And that's it.
Thank you. Yeah, a lot going on in that space, and we're making a big push to get that completed sometime very soon. So one thing that, a little bit aside from development tasks, we did make a trip to KubeCon last week. So two of the members, myself and Nick, did a presentation on Istio Day. That has now been posted on YouTube by CNCF. So if you'd like, it's about 25 minutes long, and we'll dig into a few things that you may or may not know about Kiali. So I encourage you to watch that if you get the chance. I think we can also get that posted via kiali.io, but it's not there yet. So this is the link that you have. All right, moving on to notable changes from the sprint. Well, we just talked about a bunch about the tempo things. There's a lot going on there. Version 120 of Istio was released just a couple of days ago, and that is tied to v1.76 as the add-on. So if you follow their install instructions, you will get 176, although 177 should also be totally compatible, so you can update if you like after that when it comes out. I think sort of the big news here is actually what's going on. There's a lot of work with our OpenShift console plugin, and there's an epic there that's very close to complete. We're also working on multi-cluster, and that epic is close to complete. So we should have that support out sometime soon. And the tempo support, as Jasuni just talked about, that is close to complete. We're really pushing for a lot of things to kind of come to a head here at the end of the calendar year, opening up what we can do for the next calendar year, and which promises to be full and exciting with a lot of new things. And we started a topology view of your mesh deployment. That's in the early stages, and we'll be talking more about that. And a couple bug fixes of import. We've got a couple of multi-cluster issues as we nail down all the things about multi-cluster that we're trying to get in place. Operator had an issue with multiple CRs for the console plugin. Kiali.io had a fix to the left-hand menu, which was a little bit confused. And we found an issue with multiple refreshes. If you tried to do it over and over manually with the mouse, you could cause a crash, which has been solved. All right, Sprint 100 preview coming up. Last sprint of the year, 100th sprint for Kiali, kind of a momentous milestone. The epics in progress are the same pretty much as last sprint, except we did close off the PF5 update. And as I mentioned, we're hoping to close more of these in the near future. And then there's the actual backlog. Again, you can always look at this by going to GitHub for Kiali, and you're more than invited to jump in, and if you want to contribute, talk to us or pick something, ask if it's available, and we'd love to have you contribute. With that, I'll end the recording, and if anybody here wants to discuss any topic outside of the recording, that would be fantastic. Thank you.